Oh, it's okay. I'm not breastfeeding. This had become my standard response over the several months since I had had my daughter. I waited till I was 33 to get pregnant, which was just in time for the new mommy revolution. We were all gonna have Baltic amber necklaces and wear our babies and breastfeed in public and give birth in bathtubs. It was gonna be great. Baltic amber's kind of ugly, so I didn't do that. And I did my fair share of baby wearing, but my kid's not really into it. And you know what? Bathtub, somebody's got to clean it. So I went to the hospital. But breastfeeding, I was on board. I come from a line of robust and hardy breeders. Women with large breasts and large hips who could pop out 2, 3, 4 before they could drink. So I figured I had this. I had a terrible pregnancy, the worst. So bad I kept notes to remind myself not to do it again. But I hung in there. And every week when I went to the doctor, I would sign that sheet of paper that said, I've read all the books, I've read all the blogs, breast is best, I'm in. When it came time to deliver, I didn't even have drugs till hour 17. Finally, I reluctantly got an epidural, which was okay, except that it didn't completely take. Not that big a deal. Until hour 28, when I delivered an 8-pound-plus baby at 9 centimeters. My daughter wasn't so much born as she kicked her way out like a high school quarterback at homecoming. I was happy for half an epidural at that point because I spent the next 20 minutes reupholstering my vagina. When I had checked in almost 2 days prior, I asked for a lactation consultant, but I said, no rush. They took me at my word because she showed up 5 minutes before we checked out. At that point, my milk still hadn't come in, so they gave me this tube, approximately as thick as my hair, which I was to attach to a formula that would sit on my shoulder, and I would tape it to my nipple and feed my child. No big deal, just till your milk comes in. It would be the equivalent of asking one of you to suck on a football with a garden hose in the side of your mouth. Just as uncomfortable for me. But I did it. I did it 8 to 10 times a day, and I pumped in between. By day 3, I started to get a little nervous, so I got the tea that you drink that makes your milk come in, and I did the massaging, and I did everything. On day 3, I called a friend of mine who was a wet nurse, and I said, my milk's not coming in, what do we do? And she goes, it's okay, I'll come over. And she says, you know what, you just need to relax. I want you to take a long walk around the block and have a beer. So I did. Nothing. Thankfully, because the last thing I needed in between the rest of my routine was to be drunk wandering the neighborhood. On day 4, I thought it was time to bring in the big guns, and I called La Leche League. Oh, yeah. And I got voicemail. And I left a desperate, pathetic, sobbing, 2 hours of sleep message, knowing they would call me back immediately. On day 5, I started texting my friends, especially the ones who I suspected didn't breastfeed. And I would say, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I know breast is best. If I don't breastfeed, my baby's gonna be stupid or sickly or what? Shut up and feed your baby. Well, that's not an answer. So we're on day 6. I get a call back from La Leche. Sobbing, I tell this woman my story. I've done the tea, I've done the pumping, I'm doing everything. What if my milk's just not gonna come in? Well, only 1% of women's milk doesn't come in. Well, yeah, but what if I'm that 1%? You're being ridiculous, you just need to try harder. The fuck you came out of my mouth with the force to this day it hasn't come. And I slammed down the phone. Day 7. I end up back at the hospital, and it's the 3rd time this week. They think I have a blood clot. And the nurse walks in, and I am sobbing and telling her my story. And she says, well, you know, sometimes it can take up to 10 days. You've just got to try harder. And then the ugly cry came, and I'm snorting, and I'm snotty, and I am sniffling, and I have stitches, and I have pumps, and it is the worst day of my life. And the doctor walks in, and it's not my doctor. And I explained to her what's going on, and I said, look, you don't understand. Breast is best. If I don't breastfeed my daughter, she's going to be stupid or sickly or worse. I signed papers. And the doctor turns to me and says, I know because I wrote those papers. I give the seminar that breast is best. And breast is best, except when it's not. Wait, what? Breast is best, except when it's not. Well, you left that part out. So now what am I supposed to do? Shut up and feed your baby. But if I feed her formula, she'll be what? Stupid or sickly or worse. And the doctor says, I'm 55 years old. I have a PhD and I run marathons. I was raised on formula. And not this Gerber, Good Start, fortified soy, vanilla, fluffy magic stuff you have. Shitty first run formula. Do you think I'm sickly or stupid? Well, no, not exactly. Then shut up and feed your baby. And I did. I went and got a bottle that day, and things got better. And in an experience of having a newborn that is so confusing and tiring and isolating and terrible, I found peace in being able to feed my child and get a little sleep. And so when I started going back out into the world like a human being, every time I would pull out that bottle to pop it in my daughter's mouth, some woman would inevitably swing her head around at me and roll her eyes and go, as if I didn't know. And so I probably should have started saying, oh, it's okay, I can't breastfeed. But I decided to answer with, oh, it's okay, I'm not breastfeeding, because it's none of her damn business. Thank you.